Places. How are all of you doing? Afternoon. I am good. I am also like 6 weeks into an allergy situation that has been a challenge. So if my voice seems a little off, you know why. Um, that's just what we're doing here. Okay, I think we are good to get started. Yay. All right. Okay, so today's live is all about helping you with your holiday style. Now, let's be clear, these tips are going to work for you like all year round. What I'm going to share, these are just like tried and true style strategies that are going to help you confidently style yourself no matter what time of year it is. But given that it's the holidays, I thought we would kind of focus on that. Thanksgiving is this week. You might be traveling to someone's house for the holiday, or you might be having people over, or you might just be like staying at home and like pretending the world doesn't exist like I am and just like having like a quiet day. But whatever you're doing, if you're getting dressed, I know that this can sometimes be a stressful time. We did a poll today over on Instagram, and I asked people, what is your number one challenge when it comes to getting dressed for the holidays? And the number one thing people said was managing anxiety about their weight. So, again, it's just a situation where we can't separate body image and confidence on that side of things from our style. They're really intertwined. The work that I do really helps you understand how to dress your body shape and how to feel more confident in your clothes. And then that oftentimes kind of just like mitigates the body image stuff, because you look at yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, it's me and I look great and I love the style and I love what's going on. So we are going to talk about a few things today. One, some mindset talk, and then we're going to jump right into strategies. Like I have clothes in the background. I haven't done this in such a long time. So excited. So I'm actually going to be like visually showing you what to wear. A lot of these things you'll find you may already have. So this might not even be like a shopping expedition for you. Stay tuned because I am going to be dropping some hints about a couple of things that are launching on Friday, that will help you actually know where to shop. That's a question I get asked a lot, but we'll get there when we get there. Okay, so let's get started. The thing I want to talk about first is mindset, right? Like I said, this time can be kind of stressful, feeling like, okay, people are like seeing me, maybe for the first time in a while. It could also be something where, maybe you've gained some weight and you're not exactly feeling as confident in your clothes, like all that good stuff, right? So, what I really want y'all to focus on is one, like you can only control what you can control. So if there are like body shamers in your family, haters in your family, sometimes just like being prepared with a few clapbacks, respectful clapbacks is very helpful, right? Like if someone makes a comment about your body and you're just not feeling it or tired of it, you can literally just say, like, I'm not accepting comments about my body right now. And just like keep it moving. My friend Claire Siegel, who's the CEO of We Flourish, which is an anti diet mindset and body image coaching program where they really focus in with their members on feeling good in your body without the restrictions of diets. She just did a whole podcast on like managing weight anxiety through the holidays, so I recommend that you check that out if this is something that rings true for you. All right, so like I said, what I do a lot is like I actually help my clients with the style side of things in a way that the body image stuff just kind of falls away. I've literally had clients tell me, like, I need to lose 10 pounds. I was like waiting to work with you. Then I decided to do it. And then we go shopping and I get them what they need. And they're like, I look great. Like, literally, the pressure to lose weight just disappeared in like a 2-hour session. So, that could be true for you too. So, let's get it popping with your style. So, when it comes to holiday dressing, the thing that makes it different is usually visual interest. So, the first thing that we're going to talk about with visual interest is like, what does that mean? Visual interest to me is it's that like je ne sais quoi, right? It's like when you see a look and you're just like, there's something going on there that is so interesting to me. And sometimes you can't quite put your finger on it, right? It's just like, damn, that looks good. And so there's usually some elements of visual interest going on. Before we get to that, I want you to really think about your style type. Okay. It's really important before you just start like going on AnnTaylor.com and figuring out like some sort of glittery sweater to put on. Like, what is your style? Confidence is going to come from you really feeling like you are authentically yourself at that table or at that holiday party or at that moment or like just in life, right? So if you don't have clarity on your style, it's really, really difficult for you to then execute with ease when it comes to styling yourself and feeling really good. So clarity is like the number one thing that I want you to focus on with your style. What do I mean by that? A lot of you snagged my quiz when it was up about your signature style type personality. You can go back and review those results. It's not up now, so I apologize if y'all missed it. But if you missed it, you missed it. But it was really helpful for defining, like what is my style. So in brief, there are four major style types: minimalist, classic, statement, and maximalist. Minimalist, it's really going to be this is where your style, like you really like a lot of neutrals. You don't tend to love a ton of patterns. These are things where you really want like clean lines. It's kind of like interior design, right? Like, but in your style, clean lines, like something like this is like, whoa, like even like the stud on this earring is like too big, potentially for a minimalist. So, really just kind of sleek, clean lines and very like, neutral colors. For classic, these are folks who like a lot of tailoring in their clothing, so the fit becomes even more important. And then in terms of patterns and things like that, like usually folks who are classic have never met a stripe that they didn't enjoy. And then there's also like very classic patterns, right? So like houndstooth, polka dots, stripes, like I already mentioned. So, tweeds in terms of fabrics. So that kind of like Duchess Megan, Kate Middleton situation. Next up, we have statement. These are folks who like to make a statement in their clothing and their looks, but with one major move. So that could be a deep V, that could be a big earring, that could be a bold color, that could be a really dramatic like shoe or bag choice, right? But the rest of the outfit is kind of um, tame, or at least, it doesn't draw attention. And then maximalist is like more is more is more is more. Hello. You can have let me define that. So maximalist would be folks who are like, give it all to me. So like print mixing, pattern mixing, unexpected things, like wearing like a big tulle skirt with like a t-shirt, right? Like just really, really mixing it up and really loving how that feels. Hey, Kelly. So, it's like they just like Lizzo was my example for this, right? Like the dresses that she wears. Yes, it's kind of like a personality thing too, but like she has a maximalist style. And so you can also have what I call a secondary style type. So if like one of those calls to you, but you're like, oh, I feel like something's missing a little bit, you can add on a secondary type. For example, I am a statement maximalist. So I actually would do statement first, meaning like for this, I got all dolled up because we're doing holiday style. So I like went like a little glam. But like typically I might wear, say I'm just wearing like a regular, not like a deep V, just a regular top. I might do like just the headband or just the earrings. That's like my one like statement piece. Adding all this together makes it more maximalist. So defining and having clarity in your style type, and y'all, this is content I typically only share in my paid offers, so I'm really happy to be able to share it with you today in the spirit of giving. And these are things that we talk a lot about in my group coaching program, Getting Dressed Again, which is launching in February. Make sure you go to any links on my Instagram or in my bio to sign up for the waitlist if you haven't already, because we go just so much more in depth where you can really have clarity on like, how do I look like me, and really like step into who I'm becoming and who I'm meant to be in the world with a wardrobe that matches. How do I elevate? Second thing I'm going to talk about is cohesion. So it's one thing to have clarity on your style, but the thing I think that really trips people up is like, how do I make it all work together? Right? Like, how did I know, for example, that this would go with this? They don't have any colors in common. Like, but you can't tell me it doesn't look fly. And so having cohesion, that's another piece of the style puzzle. There's three C's, we're getting to all of them. And so you really also want to focus as you're thinking about your holiday looks, or again, you guys, like just getting dressed. Think about how are you putting things together so that it looks like a cohesive look from head to toe. I'll give you some tips as we get into the clothing so that you understand a couple of like really simple ways to pull that off. The third C, as we talk about like how to make your style translate into something that you're really excited about, is to be confidently styled. What does that mean? It means that you truly have the confidence to shop either in a store or online or shop your closet, right? Like style doesn't always mean buying something new, but you're shopping from whatever you have available with confidence. Like you know where to get things, what brands fit, where to look if you want something new. If you want to change up your style, you have a good sense right from the clarity and the cohesion of like what it is that you're looking for. And it's not this kind of just like random, like subject to whatever trends are out, that sort of thing. And then you also want to be able to confidently style yourself, right? Like meaning like picking the accessories, like those finishing touches and putting those together. Again, these are things that we go into in my group coaching program. We're not going to dive like deep today, but I did want to make sure just to give you guys just those headlines so that you can like soak it in and be like, okay, like baby steps, right? Um, oh, your earrings are everything. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Um, I appreciate that. So, um, here's what we're going to do next, right? Is talk about how to increase the visual interest of your looks. This is what I would focus on specifically for holiday dressing. It is applicable all year round, right? Like again, it's that thing that like puts your style over the top. And I don't mean in like a maximalist way. I mean in that like cohesion way where it's like, oh, it just all works together. So increasing the visual interest, there are 5 principles of visual interest. So 5 ways to do this. You can work with texture, print, pattern, color, or shine. So like if you guys can see, this has like a little bit of shine to it, right? Um, these are the elements that are really going to help you put together. Thank you, Natalie. Natalie's on Facebook in my comments helping with some notes. Texture, print, color, pattern, and shine. She got them all. Nice, nice, nice. So these are the elements where you can use one, right? So minimalists, we're going to be there, right? You're probably like, okay, that seems like a lot. You can use one of these elements. And then you can also use 2, 3, 4, you know what I mean? Like it's completely up to you. So we're going to actually review with some items in the back. What does that actually look like? So the first example I'm going to give you of a really easy way to put together a holiday look is a monochromatic look. Okay. So monochromatic, it doesn't mean like a black top and black pants. Like it can. But I also actually find, and people always like, what? Especially because I lived in New York for 15 years and like everyone wears black a lot. Black is actually the hardest color to do a monochromatic look with. Have you ever experienced putting on like a pair of black pants and you put on like a black top or a black sweater and the blacks are different, right? The saturation is different. So one of them, if it's say like this is like more of like a true black, right? Like it meaning it's very saturated. I might put another black with it that's a little bit heathered in a way like you couldn't tell in the store, and all of a sudden that other piece looks dirty. Like it looks like it's been washed too many times. Like it's a lot. Okay. So my advice to you is like be seasoned in your style confidence game if you're gonna do monochromatic looks with black. It's actually really hard. Um, hey Crystal. It's actually really hard to pull that off in a way that's going to look sophisticated and polished and pulled together. I should say it's harder, right? Working with colors is easier. Um, oh, this look is serving. Thank you. I actually like got out of my joggers for y'all today. I took a nap, like, I've been up for a while. And actually like put on like some festivity. All right, so let's get it popping. Hey, Christina, good to see you. All right, so we're like really gonna do the thing. And again, I'm on in Facebook and Instagram, so if y'all can't see me at some point, just let me know. But I think I have my cameras set up. Also, as I'm getting set up, like pop questions in. If you're like, okay, I'm following, I'm tracking, like, tell me what resonates with visual interest, with your style. Like, did you get some clarity on your style between minimal, maximalist, statement, classic? Like, let me know, give me some feedback. All right. Ooh, so festive. Thank you. All right. So move the chair out of the way. So our first look, and yes, I do not have shoes on because I am in my house. So no shoes in the house. Our first look that I'm going to walk you through is again with monochromatic look. So we're going to do that first. So taking two colors that are similar, right? So we're going to do two blues, but not exactly the same. Oh, here's my skirt. Hold, please. We'll give you this look. So we're doing two elements here of visual interest: texture. And you guys see this is kind of like a chenille, right? So it's soft and you've got that texture in there, super cozy. The other thing I want to point out is you don't have to go like all out. I mean, clearly, like, this is a look. She's doing quite a bit. My advice, I'm gonna kneel down because my camera is, hold on, y'all. Sorry, Facebook. Let me get you guys up. So my advice to you is to stay home. What is it? Go big or stay home. Stay home meaning stay with what you like. Like if you have never in your life desired to wear a fancy party dress, don't start. Okay. Thanksgiving is not the time. Like you might feel self-conscious, like you know what I mean? Like it is okay to like stay in your element. If you are a, like sweater wearing, pants loving person, I'm going to show you ways to do that where it can still look really elevated and festive. So that's stay home. Go big is if you have had your eye on this like sparkly thing forever and you're like, should I? Should I? Why not now? The answer is yes. So you got to go to the extremes. If you stay in the middle, what'll end up happening is it kind of like this happens a lot where like you look like you're going to the office, but like with like, I don't know, like an earring. Like it's not giving. Okay. It's not giving. All right. So we've got a little bit of texture here in this kind of like navy cozy sweater. And this could be an answer of stay home, right? Like you could totally just wear this with jeans. There's nothing particularly like holiday necessarily about this. So if you're not someone who wants to like spend on like an outfit you don't think you're going to wear again, like you can do something like this. What we would pair it with, this is a midi skirt. Okay. Oh, now I'm too high on Facebook. Hold on, y'all. We are live. I don't have my camera production crew yet. It's coming. Claiming it for my TV show. So we have this midi skirt, okay? And again, we've got shine now. It's kind of like a silk charmeuse material. I mean, y'all, it's from Target. It's probably not any material that is made from the earth, but this is the look of it. And so when we pair these two together, make sure y'all can see. Do you see how those coordinate so beautifully? Like, I think that's lovely. I think it's really lovely. The other thing that you can do, that was monochromatic. You could also take the same skirt, and if you think about your color wheel, right? You've got blue, and on one side you've got green, on the other side you've got purple. So a really easy way to make sure that your looks are cohesive and harmonious is to keep your colors just one shade apart. Meaning like green and blue go really well together, blue and purple go really well together. So you could do, this is actually more of like a pink. You'll get the idea. Again, like more texture. I went through a moment where I was like, I need everything to be chenille. And then do a little front tuck action, and we should be good. So that's, technical difficulties, y'all. It's in my hair. So that's something else that you could do. You could also go for pattern, right? Blouse. You know, you have one color in common. That's going to be the key to mixing pattern mixing. Or even, I mean, obviously this is a solid, but if you had another pattern, you were like, does this go together? The answer is yes. If there's one color in the shirt in common with the other pattern. So again, we've got our fun skirt. You could tuck that in, right? And have a whole look. I would probably do something like this with like a really classic pump, or I would go a little bit edgier with something like these patent leather boots. So keeping with the shine, but kind of making it a little bit less sweet. But again, you got to know your style type. Like for me, it's like statement. For you, if you're like, you know, more classic, you know, like just like a really, really nice, like a navy block heel pump would be amazing. Okay, next up, you could also do a bright, right? That could be your statement thing. This gets a little bit trickier because there's not a lot of texture in this. And so I would say you'd have to really go with accessories to make it look not bland. Okay. More monochrome. Oh, did I bring in my, oh, I'm missing my pants. Hold, please. She returns. So faux leather, so easy for holiday, like so easy. These are like a straight leg pair. Okay. They're in a really deep Merlot kind of wine color. It's reading a little bit brown on screen, but it's more like a really deep wine color. So with this, you would take your bright and you could do something like that. So you get a little bit of a pop. That's more of like a classic look, I would say. And you could continue the monochrome with like a loafer. How festive. How cute. And then next up, got a couple more. Say you've got a cute little sweater dress that you wear casually. You can always do an element of visual interest in an accessory. So it doesn't actually always have to be like the whole look. So this, like cute little chain link belt, I'm gonna take the tags off, right? But like this now around our friend. Like that could be, hold on, get myself together. That could be really cute. So you're taking your usual stuff and just adding just a little pop. You could, with a belt like this, I would probably blouse the top a little bit, just to give it a little oomph. And you could obviously do a much wider belt also and like really kind of define the waist. If you're into headbands, you could do a little headband, like get creative. And then you can also color block. These are our last two examples. So something like this. Say you're like really not into, because I've only shown one pattern. I have one other pattern, right? I'm doing a lot of solids just to help you understand. Like there's so many ways to get the visual interest up with like the texture and the shine and all that. Like you actually don't need a lot of print if that's not your thing. If it is your thing, it's even easier because the pattern kind of like does all the work for you. If that makes sense. All right, so here we have this portrait collar shirt. So it actually sits very much like off the shoulder. So that makes a statement already. Like it's in like a very neutral cream color, but it's making a statement just with as much skin as you're showing. It doesn't have a deep like decolletage, like you're not showing a ton of cleavage. It's more just like this look of like ooh, which can be really really fun. So this you could do a black faux leather pant. You could even do like the midi skirt in black. So you could just color block like cream and black, and that would actually look really good. You can kind of tell from here, right? Like voila. But here is your visual interest. So that's actually in like the silhouette, which we didn't talk about. The silhouette or the fit of a piece can also really amplify the visual interest. Last up, say you're like, I don't really want to play these reindeer games. I just want to like show up and get my plate of food. You could wear like a very basic outfit, right? So like black jeans, maybe like a colored t-shirt or a graphic t-shirt could be fun if that's more your style. And then you could do something fun like this. Yes, the tags are still on. Don't at me. Um, and again, like the pattern, the print does all the work for you. So you could do black on black, right? Like you could do navy and navy. You could do some of that monochromatic stuff, but it doesn't have to have all those other elements of visual interest. So um, there we go. I would love to know what you guys see as. Hold on, let me get back in my little chair here. What look stood out to you? What questions do you have? And I'm happy to answer anything that comes through. I know we had one question earlier I can go back to. Okay, Casey says, I know our hosts, so she's traveling, will be in sweats. Mindset, is it weird for me to dress up a little when no one else is? I think that's such a great question. Like, so much, pardon me, you guys, so much of this is like the shoulds, and like we kind of get in our heads around you have this style that you really like, and the question of like, is it too much? And what's really behind that is like, am I too much? Am I going to be perceived as being extra, always being over the top? Oh, she's so this and that. That to me is what's really behind when we ask her, because we all do it when we ask ourselves those questions. Like, is it going to be too much? It's like, well, am I going to be perceived as too much? Only you know the answer to that. And sorry, just waving to a couple of folks on IG. Um, you know, the answer to me is like, where would you want? Like, where would you want? You know what I mean? I would always rather arrive somewhere feeling like my style was channeling the best parts of myself, because that's the energy I'm going to bring into the room. So if like, you're working on like, oh my God, like, is everyone gonna be looking at me, da, 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 then I think you really just have to kind of work through like, how much do you really want to care about that? How much energy do you want to spend worrying about other people's opinions, the weight of other people's opinions, right? Like, you're gonna look great, you're gonna take great pictures, you're gonna have a good time, again, because your energy is right about you knowing what you want to wear and you look great in it. So that's what I would say to that. The winter style event is here, so that is my name for like Black Friday plus. We have some end of year specials. There's going to be stuff going on pretty much throughout the month, but there's two things I definitely want to let you guys know about for this week for Black Friday. One is I have a whole course on visual interest, like What? It's called From Blase to Bold. I got really great feedback on it when I did it this past February. It was kind of like a pop-up event, and folks were like, "This was so helpful in helping me like not buy anything new, but just go into my closet and figure out different outfits I could put together that maybe I'd never tried before that actually have like much more visual interest. And I feel more confident in like looking like I got dressed versus looking like I put clothes on. So there's going to be a special rate for that, and that's going to drop on Friday. And then the other thing dropping on Friday, I'm actually doing a live tomorrow, and I'm going to be talking about that. So the teaser is people have been asking me about this for years. For years. If you were around for 60 Days of Style this summer, you know that I do these like shoppable catalogs. And again, one of the number one questions that I get is where, like, granted, this was all fun and games, but like, where do I go? Like, where does a sister go to like actually get these things, and know that they will like be for my body shape and like right for my budget and da 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 da. So something special, something very special is coming up on Friday. The best way to keep up with like what's going live when is in my Instagram bio. I have a wait list, and you can, or not a wait list, sorry, an email list where I'll email you directly every time something goes out. So you get first access. I'll put it in here for um, my people on Facebook. But I am super excited about it, and I think you're going to love it. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. I'm just like really excited to be able to be a style guide for you and share some festivity on your timeline today. So thanks, y'all. If you have questions, hit me up in the DMs. Bye.